Sometimes the best trail you'll ever visit is going to be a secret, unpopular trail. We can often be overwhelmed trying to find the very best trail and make sure we don't overlook the absolute best trail to go walking on or hiking on or to get out in nature with. But the overlooked trail, the unpopular trail, can have its own quiet appeal. You know, things that are unpopular, you know, that doesn't mean they're bad just because they're unpopular or unknown. Sometimes it's just that things become trendy. Sometimes the best thing for you is the unpopular or the unknown or the, I almost want to say undiscovered. And I think that after a while of seeking out the contrarian path or the contrarian outlook, you can start to develop a trained eye for hidden gems, the things that everybody else kind of turns their nose up at a little bit. And you'll start to find these off the beaten trail. What's that poem about two roads, two paths in a woods, taking the, you know the thing. Tell me down in the comments, what's the way that it goes? Two roads diverged in a path in a wood. I took the one less traveled by. I don't know. Tell me how that goes. But I think there's a lot to that. And trying to find the most popular trail, the most popular path, the most popular park, I think that's a waste of time, honestly. And I think that on the whole, developing a contrarian perspective naturally fosters an optimistic outlook. Now let me be really clear about what I mean by contrarianism, because I've seen some comments in some of my recent videos talking about contrarianism, and I get the idea from the comments that people really don't know what they're talking about. Maybe people have a misunderstanding or a misperception of what contrarianism means. Contrarianism doesn't mean argumentative, and it doesn't mean automatically taking an argumentative, contrary position. What it means is trying to think, what is the crowd mentality, and then trying to see if there's an opportunity in the opposite direction. You ever heard about the mob mentality? The mob and the crowd are almost always wrong. And this is a little secret, a little life hack. If you try to go along with what most of the world thinks is right, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. What that noise is. Sometimes I have to remember that escaping the suburbs doesn't mean you fully get away from the suburbs. Sometimes it's more of a mental escape. So contrarianism does not mean argumentivism. It doesn't mean being argumentative. It just means thinking of what the common wisdom is. You know, I was in a live stream the other day. It wasn't my live stream, it was somebody else's, and there was someone in that they just kept on picking on people, and their argument to everything was, well, you don't have a scientific degree. You don't have a scientific degree. That's not what the bulk of science has decided. And it wasn't on the topic of what you think it is either, which is really weird. This person just kept on relying on, you have to have a scientific degree to have an opinion on anything. And I'm just like, you know, the scientific community has been wrong about so many things, and then later, you know, as they learn more, and if it's true science, they're willing to change their mind as they learn stuff. But claiming that, like, anyway, the crowd knows better and we have to go along with what the crowd says, well, that's where my contrarian nature kicks in. And I think that's why I'm so optimistic all the time and so positive. Because the world is so pessimistic. The world is so negative. And you know why the world is negative? You know why the world is pessimistic? Because it's easy. Because it's easy. It's the easy way out to just criticize, to be negative, be pessimistic. That's the easy way to predict the doom and gloom. By the way, I think one of the reasons that people get so angry and so pessimistic is because that emotion is one of the easiest emotions to manipulate. And, you know, the social media kingpins and certain types of politicians and certain types of media moguls, they want to manipulate you. And the easiest emotions to manipulate is anger. Find yourself getting angry, find yourself getting worked up. Don't be a sucker. Don't let yourself get manipulated with anger just because it's the easy way to rile you up. Don't be a sucker. Don't be naive. Don't fall for people who are manipulating based on anger. It's no bueno. So I want to take this idea of the unpopular trail and apply it to all aspects of life. I want to look for the unglamorous approach. And I want to try to take joy in the undiscovered little trails and the undiscovered little... well, if a trail is a metaphor for the things we're doing, then finding the unpopular and undiscovered trail... Listen, this isn't exactly undiscovered. This trail is man-made as a park. And there's suburbs all around me. There's an airplane flying over. This is not some secret undiscovered trail, but as you can see, there's nobody else out here. Doesn't have any baseball fields, no soccer fields, no bathrooms. Doesn't have no Instagram-friendly shots. So it's deserted, which in my book makes it perfect. Hey, if most of this makes sense to you, I want to invite you to come join me on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here at this channel. I do a live stream every Wednesday night. A lot of my friends get together in the chat. We all sit around and sort of talk through what's going on and encourage each other. I'd love for you to show up and meet some of them, maybe make some new friends. It's an opportunity for you to encourage somebody and an opportunity for you to be encouraged by some like-minded folks. So why don't you do that? Show up at 8 p.m. Eastern at this YouTube channel for a live stream with me Wednesday night. I'm telling you, it'll be the best time you have all week. So I want to challenge you to find your own unpopular trail, whatever that means in your life. Maybe that's something at work. Maybe that's something with your friend group or your church. Look for the unpopular trail in life. Get on it. Go take a hike.